Imagine this. Tonight, when you look up at the sky, the moon is gone. No moonlight, no glow, only endless darkness. Could the moon really disappear overnight? And if it did, what would happen to our planet? In this story, we'll explore the shocking reality of what would happen if the moon suddenly vanished from the sky, how the oceans, weather, animals, and even humans would change forever. Let's begin with the truth that the moon isn't just a glowing rock in the sky. It's the heartbeat of our Earth. First, let's understand why the moon is so important to us. The moon's gravity controls our ocean tides, the rise and fall of water that balances Earth's environment and gives life to marine ecosystems. If the moon disappeared, the very first impact would be on the tides. The oceans would suddenly go still, but soon chaos would begin. Without the moon's pull, ocean currents would weaken and eventually stop. Millions of marine creatures, from plankton to whales, would die as oxygen levels dropped. The seas would turn into vast, lifeless pools, silent and decaying. Next, the Earth's axis would begin to wobble. The moon's gravitational lock keeps Earth's tilt steady. Without it, Earth's tilt would drift chaotically, sometimes too much, sometimes too little. That means our seasons would collapse. The poles might melt, while deserts freeze. Regions that are warm today could become frozen wastelands tomorrow. In short, the balance of weather would be destroyed. Now imagine the impact on animals and human life. Many animals, like turtles, owls, and sea creatures, rely on moonlight to navigate. Without the moon, they would lose their sense of direction. Birds would migrate in the wrong directions. Fish would never reach the shores, and entire species could vanish forever. And then comes without the moon, our nights would become 12 times darker. Mountains, forests, villages, all swallowed by pitch-black skies. Even human eyes would struggle to adapt. In remote places, fear and uncertainty would rise. Cities would shine bright with artificial light, but the rest of the world would whisper, "The night is not the same anymore." Slowly, the human mind would begin to change too. Scientists believe that the moon's gravitational rhythm subtly affects our sleep and emotional balance. Without it, millions could suffer from insomnia, anxiety, and restlessness. The harmony between nature and human life would begin to break apart. And now comes the ultimate question. Could Earth survive without the moon? The answer is probably not. Within thousands of years, Earth's tilt would shift so much that our climate could swing from fire to ice. The planet would either burn in endless summers or freeze in eternal winters. Either way, life as we know it would end. But maybe there's still a small chance. Some scientists believe that over millions of years, Earth might find a new balance, a new way to spin and survive. But by then, humanity would be long gone. And the sky, where the moon once smiled down at us, would remain empty forever. So next time you see the moon shining above, remember, it's not just a beautiful sight. It's the silent guardian that keeps our world alive. And if it ever vanished, maybe we wouldn't last very long either. This was What If the Moon Disappeared Overnight? Explained by Beyond Logic. Because sometimes the biggest mysteries of the universe begin with just one question. But let's go deeper. What would truly happen not just in days or months, but in centuries after the moon disappeared? In the beginning, humans might try to adapt. Artificial satellites could replace moonlight, cities would shine brighter, and technology would try to fill the emptiness above. But nature doesn't adapt that easily. The oceans would start losing their rhythm. Tides would weaken, shorelines would shrink, and marine ecosystems would begin to collapse. Coral reefs, the lungs of the sea, would bleach out and die. The balance between salt and fresh water would fail, and coastlines would decay into silent, stagnant zones. Slowly, the smell of life would fade from the seas. Without the moon's pull, the Earth's rotation itself might begin to drift. The moon acts like a brake, slowing our spin over billions of years. Without it, Earth could start spinning faster, shortening our days by several seconds. It sounds small, but in cosmic balance, even seconds can decide survival. A faster rotation means stronger winds, more violent storms, and extreme weather chaos across the planet. Let's talk about life on land. Plants that grow under moonlight, those that bloom at night, would vanish first. Night-pollinating insects, like moths and beetles, would lose their rhythm and disappear next. Slowly, the food chain would crumble. Birds would lose their migration timing, predators would hunt less at night, and ecosystems would slip into confusion. In just a few centuries, Earth would look like a new, unfamiliar world. Alive, but struggling to stay that way. The climate begins to shift, for real. The tilt of Earth's axis starts swinging like a pendulum. Every few thousand years, the planet tips in a new direction, causing super winters and super summers. Massive ice sheets form and melt again, flooding continents and redrawing coastlines. Civilizations rise and fall under the weight of nature's new rhythm, one that no longer includes the moon. For scientists, this would be the beginning of the end of stability. The Earth would no longer have predictable seasons. Crops would fail without consistent weather, and humanity would struggle to survive. The balance that has held for billions of years, quietly guided by the moon, would finally collapse. In the long future, Earth's orbit itself might begin to drift slightly. The gravitational dance between Earth and the Sun would grow unstable without the moon's steadying hand. Tiny shifts in orbit could send the planet closer to the Sun or farther away into the cold. Either way, life would be on borrowed time. And yet, there's something poetic in this destruction. The moon has been with us since Earth was born out of a cosmic collision shaped from the same dust that made us. It controls the tides, the light, and the rhythm of life. Without it, everything we know would slowly fade, not in one moment, but in silence. Humanity would leave behind monuments, messages, and machines, trying to remember the silver guardian that once ruled our nights. 1,000 generations later, future species might look up at the black sky and wonder, did something once shine up there? And maybe they'd find fossils, ruins of cities, and a story carved in stone about a time when Earth had a moon. But maybe the moon wouldn't disappear forever. Maybe one day, another cosmic event could bring a new satellite, another moon born out of destruction, reborn from chaos. And a new balance might emerge, a new rhythm for a reborn planet, because the universe never ends, it only transforms. So as you listen to this, take one moment to step outside tonight. Look at the moon, calm, glowing, ancient. Remember that simple light holds our world together, and if it ever vanished, our world might not break in an instant. Thank you for watching. Stay curious, because every what if hides a universe of answers.